Okay, welcome, hello, and greetings from the north. Thank you for joining. I have headline news. This is big news in Canada. This is northern and indigenous news as well. And this is the headline from Canada Press, published Thursday, April 30th, 2020, at 8:18 p.m. Eastern Time. And the headline reads, Wet'suwet'en agree to deal with government over rights and title. And I'll summarize before I read this up, just so anybody that's not up to speed on the native issues in Canada and what's happening here. Just to summarize, beginning in 2017, the federal government had opened negotiations to any tribes in Canada who were seeking an official voice for their own groups and their own tribes in Canada. Currently, we have 80 open members or open tables across Canada, and 50 new ones were to be added. And beginning with that matter has been the sticky wicket of the British Columbia Treaty, and that is this Wet'suwet'en, which there was the injunction on the land in this year in January, and then in February, protests broke out across the nation in support of this tribe and their right and their fight to even have their voices heard, which a lot of that really caused a lot of confusion as to why. And yes, they are against this pipeline, but the main issue is that the blocking them from having a right to have a voice is more damaging to our nation than any outcome of any of our dealings with the fuels. So I'll read this because they had signed in May, and so we're just catching up with the announcements because these are ongoing proceedings. These are negotiations that are currently underway as of February. And from reporting from Smithers, BC, the hereditary chiefs who oppose a natural gas pipeline in northern British Columbia say they will sign an agreement with the federal and provincial governments that affirms their title and rights. At the center of this dispute is Wet'suwet'en opposition to the construction of the Coastal GasLink pipeline through their territory, which set off demonstrations and blockades that shut down large parts of the national economy in February. A joint statement from the governments and Wet'suwet'en chiefs say they remain committed to implementing the rights and title of the First Nations through the Memorandum of Understanding. No details on the memorandum, which was reached in February, have been released. The statement says there was a lot of work ahead in the negotiation process, including how the three governments will work together. The Wet'suwet'en have invited BC's Indigenous Relations Minister, Scott Fraser, and Carolyn Bennett, the Minister of Crown and Indigenous Relations, to sign an agreement on May 14th. And this report was by the Canadian Press, first published April 30th, 2020. And I'm reading it as soon as I've got it. So these are open to public in the regards to what information is being agreed upon and what information they choose to all parties involved have chosen to release during these ongoing negotiations. I can also provide links to the established laws and how they've changed, and those government links supporting all of these changes and what is currently going on, as well as an outline of what the negotiations look like, and maybe that will indicate where we are in negotiations. So, thank you for watching, and you keep yourself healthy and keep doing everything we can as a community to make sure that Canada becomes as functional as we were before, and even more positively charged with our own activities and our communities, our partnerships coming together to help one another. Thank you.